What's harder than one extreme triathlon? Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and funnily enough my first outdoor ride since the Keltman. It is coming up to 3 weeks tomorrow and I just haven't been able to brave unpacking all the bike admin to actually get outdoors, and I've just had this thing stuck on the turbo. Done a lot of bike work to now, been really power focused, looking at really quite specific data over the next 8 to 12 weeks, give or take, for whatever I have coming up. We'll all find out very soon. So today's brief is basically just get out and enjoy it. Just get my head back in the game. I've been looking forward to riding outdoors, but whenever I've come to schedule it in, I've thought about the admin, I've thought about, oh, where's this, where's that, where's my adapter for my back disc? And I've thought, oh, I'm just gonna go on the turbo again. Which means I haven't actually enjoyed being on my bike for the past couple of weeks that much, but I have been in that post-event slump, come down that's psychologically inevitable after a big event with a long process leading up to it. But that is all part of the process. I've spoken about that in previous videos a little bit and on several podcasts. I'll touch on that a little bit more today, but ultimately what I'm here to do today is take you through this training session and take you through what is next, because I, like a lot of people out there, I'm very, very process driven, but if I don't have an end goal to sort of really map out that process, then I struggle to justify doing certain things on certain days. It's hard to justify 25 hours worth of training a week when there's nothing at the end of it. So what I have coming up very soon, I'll let you know later on in the video, but for the time being, all you need to know is that training is about to take a significant uptick. Things are about to get quite stressful. An already demanding training schedule around a demanding work schedule has just about sent me insane the past several months, and I'm about to make it a whole lot worse. But the good thing is you are here for the journey. Do make sure to drop the video a like, make sure that you've hit the subscribe button and that you've turned post notifications on so that you don't miss any of the fun from now until this race day that is still very vague, cryptic, and will be disclosed later on in this video, because then that way you get to see every video and every element of the journey from now until then. And do drop your feelings in the comments section down below. It doesn't need to be feelings, it can just be observations, but if you want to share your feelings in the comments down below, you can. Weird way of saying that, but here we are. All that's left to do for me today is clip in and head out for my first long ride outdoors since the Keltman. How far I'm going to go, your guess is as good as mine at this point. Okay, so 45.6k done. I'm going to turn around here as the wind is hilariously horrendous and crosswinds are blasting me almost into hedges. I've had a tailwind for most of the way, which is obviously fantastic, but I am now sitting here knowing that I'm going to have a brutal headwind the whole way back. It's about 14-15 mile an hour consistently with crosswinds out of here and then just what feels like a bloody tornado around me at certain points. So I'm going to turn around to accumulate roughly 3 hours of work, which was the brief for today. So before I head back and give you a breakdown of how my training is going to look for the next 8 to 12 weeks, why don't I tell you what I'm actually training for, eh? In short, I'm training to have a really, really bad time, and it's entirely my decision to take this on. It's entirely my decision to put myself in what I know is going to be a deep, dark, miserable hole, but what lays on the other side? A better version of myself. And that is ultimately why I enjoy these things so much. I will not be saying that during it, but upon reflection, I'm already looking forward to the challenge that is to come. And what is that challenge, you ask? I'm actually going to reply and answer this time, which is exciting, isn't it? A double extreme triathlon. Specifically, the double brutal extreme triathlon based in Snowdonia on September the 10th. What is the Brutal Extreme Triathlon? Well, it is an iron distance triathlon based in Snowdon. It is not part of the X-Tri World Tour, but it is very well grounded in the UK as an event in and of itself. The Brutal has a whole range of ultras, a whole range of triathlons, a whole range of different distances, different challenge, and the very essence of the company is to make races that are brutal. Who could have seen that coming, eh? So the Brutal Extreme Triathlon Double, in short, is a double iron distance triathlon in extreme triathlon conditions. So 7.6 kilometer swim, oh dear. 360 kilometer bike with 6,000 meters of elevation gain, oh dear. And an 84.4 kilometer run with lots of elevation as well. But at that point, I'm just going to be blacking out and hallucinating anyway. So who really cares? I am dreading the run section, assuming I make it that far, and really quite excited about the prospect of taking this on. But I'm putting this out there because, referring to what I said back before, having something in the diary, having it out there, documenting this process with you guys really does help me when I'm really struggling to get out of bed and get ahead of that day for that 3-session training day, that long ride Saturday, that Sunday morning where I know I've got a second session, that third session of the day when I'm getting back from the office at 8:30. Same challenges this year. I've got to manage stupid amounts of training volume alongside scaling and growing 2 businesses, which is challenging but enjoyable in the sense that I do like a challenge. I like pushing myself, I like figuring things out, but ultimately, whilst I love all the things that I do, sometimes I'm spinning too many plates and can't keep up. So what lies on the other side of this entire process and the race itself? A better version of me. And that is ultimately why I enjoy these things so much and why I encourage all of you to take on something that scares you. So bottom line is, double iron distance triathlon, September the 10th, 7.6k swim, 360 kilometer bike, 84.4k run. Oh, goodness gracious me, what a terrible idea. Anyway, I should probably turn around and get back to the house where I can give you a bit of a debrief of what my training split and approach to this is going to look like. But that's it. That's what's coming for the rest of the year. And hopefully I can maintain some of the aerobic base that I build for this leading into the Norseman in 2023. But, oh dear. To confirm, to summarise, to conclude, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, and we are back at the house, just over 90 kilometers complete. However, my data is useless as I forgot to charge my Wahoo since the Keltman, which means I had to cut it short at 58 kilometers and then go blind for the rest of it. But I was significantly slower on the way back as the headwind was laughable. But I knew that was coming. It didn't make it any better though. It was still horrendous. So is what it is. Anyway, what I'm going to do just quickly before we close things off is break down what my general training split is going to be looking like preparing for the double brutal. So I don't have a huge amount of time in the grand scheme of things. Obviously decent aerobic base under my belt from the Keltman prep. Strength work is going to still take a bit of a back seat for the time being. Going to focus a little bit more on hypertrophy work rather than real top end strength, just to keep muscle mass and sort of keep the enjoyment side of things going, and hold on to the strength that I do have so that when I reprioritize strength in the future, there's more of a base there to build from. So I'm just going to go Monday through Sunday on what the current plan is looking like. This is obviously subject to change depending on work commitments, travel, etc. But this is the ideal situation and the most logical way that we've put things together in terms of our methodology at Omnia Performance. Top link in description if you want any information on coaching, training programs, training plans, etc. That is where to go. So Monday is going to be heavy upper body AM and swim intervals PM, up to 2,000 meters worth of intervals, sort of max. That's going to be high intensity. Heavy lower in the morning is going to be bench press, dumbbell pressing, all that sort of stuff. Tuesday morning is going to be heavy lower body, really stripping back deadlift demand. So it's going to be squat and RDL focused, generally speaking. Tuesday PM is going to be a big gear, so low cadence, high watts, turbo trainer workout. Wednesday morning is going to be swim drills in the pool. Wednesday evening is going to be a tempo run or sub-threshold run or some time out in the Pentlands, depending on what the sort of week is looking like and what I've got access to. Thursday morning is going to be a tempo-paced turbo trainer session, so sort of sitting in that sweet spot for wattage in terms of training on the bike. And then Thursday PM is going to be a full body session, assistance movements, generally speaking. So again, dumbbell pressing, dumbbell split squats, that sort of thing. No heavy compound movements there. That'll be more assistance work. Friday AM is going to be a volume swim. So that'll either be in the open water or in the pool, and that'll be continuous swimming, incrementally building over the next several weeks. Whether that's continuous or whether it's broken up into 500s, 1Ks will depend on how I'm feeling, to be perfectly honest. If I'm in the open water, it'll just be start, go, cover X distance. If I'm in the pool, depends how I'm feeling that day, whether I split it up or not, for the psychological demand of just staring at floor tiles for an hour or so. Saturday morning is then going to be long bike focused with some easy running off the bike. Saturday I'm going to make tri-bike for the time being, and I'm going to make the running real easy. Sunday I'm going to make road bike, because you can change bikes, and I think I'm definitely going to use both. That's what people tend to do with the double. I'm going to try and get as much aerodynamic gain as I can over the first 200, 250k, and then when I'm really needing comfort, really needing the bigger gear set for the hills, switch to the road bike and take advantage of that. So I'm going to need to be training on both. So Sunday's going to be road bike session into easy run. All my work over the weekend is going to be pure zone 2 work, going to be real easy intensity. Saturday on the tri-bike I might push up into zone 3 a little bit, as I have done today. But ultimately, this is just a game of becoming as efficient as possible aerobically while staying robust and supporting myself through the injury prevention movements, keeping my strength up and making sure that I'm developing myself across energy systems where I can to support that aerobic base and carry myself over what is going to be a very long day out. So I will break down what my training split actually ends up looking like over the next several weeks, take you through a full week of training, take you through specific days and different videos. So make sure that you've hit the subscribe button now so that you don't miss out on any of that. I am giving instruction to Campbell behind the camera now to, as I've ran through Monday to Sunday, to put things up on the screen, so you've now got a full schedule to look at. So schedule should be on the screen for you now from the guy behind the camera in front of me. Maths. Key detail: cut off for the double brutal is 42 hours. So I have 42 hours to cover the 7.6K swim, the 360 kilometer bike, and the 84.4 kilometer run. In terms of strategy, I haven't sat down and had that real detailed approach with people that have done it, people that are experienced, sat down with Johnny and mapped it out. Obviously, I've got some conceptual thinking how we're going to approach it at this stage. But bottom line is, we're going to give it our best shot. We're going to work as hard as we can from now until then to make it happen. It's going to be a slog. It's going to be an exercise in sleep deprivation. There's going to be some really exciting, big training weekend challenges or just adventures that come between now and then. So do keep an eye out for those. But I'm excited to take this on. I'm as intimidated as I am fascinated and excited by it, because it's a real mix of why on earth would I consider doing something like this, but also really looking forward to exploring how difficult it's going to be and really meeting myself along the way, whether that's in training or whether that's on the day itself. It's going to be a real slog, and it's going to be a lesson in suffering. And it's nice to remind myself every once in a while that I can suffer. But I'm coming out of the back of a challenging couple of weeks post Keltman. I've not really felt all myself in terms of structures, routines, further for training. My diet's been a bit messy. I've just felt starving all the time, and I've kind of lent into it a little bit, because you obviously need to decompress after events. But I'm very happy to be sharing with you what I've got next. I'm very happy to be putting this out there as an additional layer of accountability, and I am less happy about what the race is actually going to entail, but this is entirely my decision, so I shall not complain. Other than that, only thing to mention is, if at any stage you would like to explore the description, there are a whole load of links that you can use to engage with all the wonderful brands that very kindly support me and all of the stupid things that I decided to take on. Most of those links do directly help out the channel, so it is very much appreciated, or some of them just give you a discount. So hopefully you can take advantage of what is just down there. And whilst you're down there, drop this video a like if you have made it this far. Of course, thank you very much. That's it for today. I hope that's given you an insight into what's to come. Any questions, any content suggestions, drop them down in the comments below. But I am going to regrettably say goodbye, as I have a lot of training to get through for the rest of this week and the weekend to come. Goodbye.